Hello everyone, and welcome to Oops Air Flight 1337 around the world.
My name is Peugeot and I will be your pilot for today. Please buckle up and enjoy the flight. Oh, one more thing. I have prepared some information about the nicknames of Counter-Strike weapons from countries all around the world. If you wish not to hear this, or get bored with it, feel free to open the rear hatch and jump out. I haven't counted the parachutes, so just remember to bend your knees when you land. Just a disclaimer, I will be trying to pronounce all of these. At least it will add comedic effect. You can make fun of me in the comments. Alright, where do we start? Perhaps here. We'll group Czechia and Slovakia together, since their CS scenes aren't really separate, at least not in 1.6. Here we have two nicknames. The OP is called Vipo, no clue why or what it means, and the TMP is called Vrtačka, which means power drill. I've never really understood, but people say that the suppressor makes it sound like one. Now we pop off a bit north to Poland. The Poles call the M249 Krova, which means cow, presumably referring to the size. Alternatively, your mum. They also call the auto snipers Autošmata, translating as auto rag. No clue about that one. Flying over the Baltic Sea, we stop for one word of Finnish. Pesukone for the P90, which is a washing machine. Why? Well, we turn around and proceed in a southerly direction to arrive in Hungary and to the end of my pronouncing capabilities, so please, as I said, laugh to your heart's content. Starting with the pistols, they call all the pistols except the Deagle Kispistoli, or KP for short, which means little pistol. The Desert Eagle goes by the name Desert, 10 out of 10 for originality there. The Mach 10 is called Haisa Rito, which translates to hairdryer. Quite a dangerous thing to call a gun. Anyway, the last on the list is the OP, being nicknamed Chipa, which... Here's the comment, I don't know. Still proceeding south, we come to Albania. Now, these nicknames could just be invented for Mr. Solitary Elite's friend group, but it's possible that other Albanians use them too. They would call the M4 the Karabin, quite obvious. The Old went by the nickname Deve, meaning camel. Lastly, the Scout was called the Chicken Sniper, which I find quite funny. Doing a sharp turn in our flight, we will go to Romania and also the end of my sanity. What the hell are these letters, man? Let's just start off easy with the OP, which is called the Polar. I'll give you 3 seconds to guess why. It's because it's an Arctic warfare magnum. The M249 is called God Help Me, which means bitch. The Scout's called meaning syringe. Seeking to regain a bit of mental health and dignity, we're flying to Ukraine. The nicknames are Mucha for Scout, meaning fly, Plyotka for auto snipers, meaning whip. By the way, have you noticed how many of these nicknames are for the snipers? Anyway, there's also Piven for the P90, which means rooster. You know what? I like relaxing. Let's fly down to Turkey and get a tan on the beach. So let's just start with the snipers again for good measure. The autos are called Auto. The G3 specifically is called Azarail, which means Reaper. The Scout is called Erdik, which means duck. I have one more bird-themed nickname, that being Tiu for the TMP, which translates to chick, as in a baby chicken bird. Next we have the UMP, which is called Akrep, translating as scorpion. Lastly, there's the AK named Kalash, which I assume is just taken from Kalashnikov, or fully borrowed from the Russian nickname Kalash. In fact, we are flying over to Russia right now, and Kalash is one down from the list. The others are Peshka for P228, which I wasn't given a translation for, but Google says it means pawn.
Pawn.
The P90 is called Petuch, meaning rooster, similarly to Ukraine. In fact, their scout nicknames are also the same, both being Mucha. The last nickname is Slon for the Op, meaning elephant. The next country really surprised me, as I was just expecting Eastern Europeans to be watching shitty CS 1.6 videos with a thick accent, but I'm very happy to present to you the absolute truckload of nicknames we got from Mongolia, which is quite a long distance away from me, in the middle of Asia. Starting from the pistols, the Glock is called Kolok, the USP is called Water Pistol, and the Deagle is called Colts. Next up, the TMP is called the Water Gun, the Galil is called the Elder Kalash, the AK is also called the Kalash here, and the M4 was called the M16 for whatever reason. And of course, there are the snipers. The autos are called Don Don, presumably related to their firing sound, and the op is called Es, or Yes? Now, this word is when I unfortunately learned that there is no text-to-speech for Mongolian Google Translate, so am I saying it even remotely correctly? And so, we come to our last country, but the video won't be over yet, so don't click off. We are flying to the other side of the world and landing in Brazil. This is also very far away from Eastern Europe, but CS is like a national sport there, so someone had to be watching. So, the nicknames. The Deagle is called Keota because of that clip of Lucas 1 yelling Kerotra after hitting a one tick.
Já vai, Boltz? Tô falando, quer outra? Quer outra? Quer outra, Boltz? Eu vou dar outra.
The M249 is quite fittingly called Rambo. The TMP is called Mamadeira, which translates to baby bottle. Lastly, the auto snipers are called Teko Teko, again based on their firing sound. We've run out of countries, but the video is not over yet. Some of you might have been pulling out their hair while watching, but don't worry, I've got you. These are the universal nicknames for CS's guns. Well, in 1.6 at least. The most universal thing most surely must be calling the guns by their number in the buy menu. For example, the AK would be called 3-2 or B32 because you need to press your keys in this sequence to buy it. Next are the ever-present Krieg for SG552 and Uzi for Mac-10. Krieg of course being taken from the pre-CSGO name for this gun, and Uzi just from the general similarity in size and looks to the Mac-10. We also have the Auto Noob for the Auto Sniper because, well, we all know who buys that stuff. And for the very finish, I've got some friend group nicknames for you. Unfortunately, most of the commenters didn't provide their countries, but I don't think that's an issue, since they weren't really publicly used anyway. We have Big Mama for Auto Sniper, dating all the way to Beta 1.0. Someone else calls them the Duck Duck. Next one is Shou Chungus, Big Chungus, a mispronunciation of the word shotguns. Then we have the Rap Tap Tap for the UMP, based on the firing sound. Lastly, we have the Deagle, being called simply yet fittingly the White Pistol. Hello everyone, it's been a while. Sorry it took so long, but a real life called and it isn't playing as nice as it used to. This video concept started on the 6th of July, Jesus Christ, when I asked you, dear viewers, to tell me about the nicknames that you called the guns of CS under the correction and theory video, which, by the way, I think is quite underrated, especially the theories are pretty intriguing, so go check it out if you like. Anyway, I finished some kind of rough script around September, but I rewrote it and voiced it in December instead. And now that I've got a little room to breathe, I decided on finally finishing it and recording this outro, and if I don't change my mind, work on more. Thank you everyone who posted a comment with their weapon nicknames. I've tried to include every single one, including duplicates, but if I missed some I apologize. Thank you all for watching. Next time on our irregularly scheduled programming, I might go on and complain about CS2. Or I'll praise CSC ZTS instead. Or we'll do something completely different. I don't know, time will tell. See you when I see you.